Hello, Will here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and so I thought I'm going to do a video. And what this is going to be. I've done the FIA Series 1 for the Expedition Season 1, and these were my three favourite races that I did. They may not have been the best results, or I've started in the best place, but these were my favourite ones. So this was actually the last race I did, which was obviously round 10 in the Nations. So I didn't do round 10 in the manufacturers. As you can see, I started in 12th, so qualifying wasn't great. Has to be said, wasn't a great qualifier. But yeah, I still enjoyed the race, and yeah, again, these races, they may not be the best results, or they may not be the best starts and stuff like that, but they were ones that I had the most fun on, or you know, either did well, or had the most fun with, or were the most memorable kind of thing, you know. So obviously in this one we are in the group ones. Now I'm in the Toyota hybrid. I think it's like a TS050 or something like that, some weird stupid ass name. But you will have to forgive me as well if I can't see everybody's names, or can't read everybody's names, because at the moment on my screen they're all very small and blurry. But I managed to come up to 10th, so you know, I managed to come up to a position. Off he goes. I think that was an Italian bloke. Somebody else was off there as well, I think. So now I managed to come up to 8th. So next I gotta try and get past Mr. Sponge. Now don't worry, you know, if you're gonna watch this, you don't have to worry. It probably is a bit of a long video, but the races will be cut down, so you won't have to watch the whole race, you know. So you're lucky there. So bit rougher there, but you know, at least I don't spin out. I had to cheat. If I didn't have traction control on there, I was spun out, and I would have probably completely ruined my race. So traction control is good for something, at least. Some boat went off there. What the name was, no idea. But I managed to climb up to the 7th. So by the end of the first lap, I've managed to climb up 5 positions. Can't argue. Really, can you? Can't really argue with that too much. So time on the first lap is a 2 minutes 11. But then obviously your first lap's always going to be a bit slowish. So, but we're still trying to get past Mr. Sponge. So I think the rules on this one was that you had to use the hard tyres at least once. Now I don't know if you can bypass that by, say, starting the race on like your front tyres are medium and your back tyres are hard. I don't know if then that negates the whole using hard tyres once, because technically you have used them, but I don't know if it means you have to use a full set. That I'm not 100% sure about. But this was obviously a little bit different to the manufacturers. The manufacturers one was a little bit different because you had to use each compound on that one. When you did this in round 9 for the manufacturers, I think it was round 9, where you had to use the softs, the mediums, and the hard tyres. So that was a bit awkward. Oh, I'm still behind Mr. Sponge. I sort of catch up with him, then I fall behind him, and I catch up with him and fall behind him. It's all part of the race, really, isn't it? So I'm setting the purple sector there. I've been setting. I think I set a couple of purple sectors on this lap. You can see now I'm behind Mr. Sponge again. And Portuguese driver, who's fortunately his name I can't see right now. I only know about Mr. Sponge because his name stand out. I mean, now I can see his name, but he was someone who it was a name that stood out to me, Mr. Sponge. But he does actually reappear in another race again later on, so Mr. Sponge shall return after this race. So that lap was lap 2 was a, I can't bloody read that, 2-minute 1 I think it was. So like 2 minute 1 point, so between 2 minute 1.6 or 2 minutes 1.8, one or the other. But technically at this point I'm still about surprise overtake there or someone. I mean I saw him in the race, but I didn't see him just then. Completely forgot about that, bloke. Which I don't recognise the flag. Is that I don't know where that flag is. I can't remember. No, it's not Sweden, is it? No, not Sweden. It's in blue and yellow, you twonk. Oh, I can't remember where that flag is. So I'm going to try to do an overtake here. Gets a little bit rough. I'm trying to keep myself back to stop from pushing him around. So, but luckily he doesn't spin out. Probably not the best time for me to try to do an overtake then. But then I overtake him there anyway. Back. So yeah, that was a bit of a rough overtake then, but he comes back. And it's fine. I'm aware that he's there as well, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna let him go past there. He's only inside, there's no point in me fighting it, so I'll let him go. But we're still in 8th, so you know, I'm not gonna argue with that. You know, it's still it's still a respectable position, I reckon, considering. Considering I started in 12th, so. But yeah, back to what my lap time was. In practice, I ended up getting about a 1 minute 58. So at the moment, off pace by about 3 seconds. For me, anyway. Master coming up on the upside. I think he just goes a little bit too fast and there, goes a little bit too deep. But the Master does have that. I think he does have the high top end here, so he overtakes. I'm like, alright, let him have it. And then, but no spin ups. So unfortunately I do drop back down to 9th, unfortunately. But we're still early on in the race, so still make up some positions. Obviously can also lose some positions. So nobody off there. Things still going quite, going alright. Over here again. Always a bit of a dodgy call on that one because obviously it is a hairpin effectively, and there is that little bump on the track as well. So always a bit dodgy there. Always have to be a little bit careful in that corner. A little bit deep there, so not the best. But could have been a hell of a lot worse. Let's see if we can make him here. Mr. Sponge, I think that is. It's gone off there, so we're still not far behind Mr. Sponge. I think there's a little bit of bump there between Mr. Sponge and the French driver. Obviously Mr. Sponge here, he's got that hybrid. But I think he's driving the Porsche, and I think the Porsche's hybrid acceleration is a little bit better. Go very heavy on the brakes there, he did, so that's why I had to go heavy on the brakes myself as well. But we're right behind Mr. Sponge. Well, I say we're right behind, he's just taken off. Will I ever get past Mr. Sponge? That is the big question. Will I ever pass him? Got a bit wobbly there, don't know why. I think he just wanted to make sure he didn't go on the grass. Can I take my Sponge here? Yes, I can, because I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention to what he was doing, or if he just broke way too late. I'm not entirely sure. there. But we finally get past Mr. Sponge. About time I got past that bloody sponge. Goddamn bloody sponge. So our last 2 laps have been a 2 minutes 2, so a little bit slower at about 4 seconds. I think it would be about 4 seconds off my fastest practice lap. And obviously, as you can see, I've also recorded this one a little bit differently to my previous videos. You know, I actually recorded it straight from the race, which I might actually try and do a bit more often. If I do any more Gran Turismo videos, I'll actually do it straight from the races. This one, you're getting a mixture. You're getting a mixture of camera angles in this video. So at least you can see how far behind them people, how far ahead I am with people. So I'm going to be pitting in on this lap. And obviously we're gonna skip past that, and we're gonna see where we end up. So we're just coming out from there. It's a little clip here. I think not so sure why I got this here. I think it's just to show where I came out, and I came out in 10th. So we skipped up a few laps now. We skipped up all the way up to lap 12. But as you can see, I'm now in P7. So, not actually doing too badly still not doing too badly. I just saw before the start of this clip, I did pit and I did come out in P10. And obviously I had pitted again. This was basically the start of my second pit. And managed to come out in P7, so ain't gonna argue about that. And you can see I'm about 7 seconds. I think I can't bloody read it because my eyes are rubbish. But I think that's about 7 seconds. It's about 7.7, 7.6 seconds or something like that. I don't know. You'll be able to bloody see it because I can't bloody goddamn read it. I'm getting old. You see, I'm basically 7 seconds. I can't even fucking speak either. Jesus Christ. 7 seconds behind 6th place. There you go. I'll get it out in the end. So at the moment, my job is now I can't see his name here, but I can remember his name, or at least part of his name anyway. It's basically now I am now chasing down Tupac. So I've got to try and chase down Tupac now. I'm trying to get past Tupac. But I've got basically 3 more laps to do that. But I am on the medium tyres. I don't know what tyres he was on in this. At this point, as you can see, I've got it down to about 6 seconds now. So it's like 6, somewhere between 6 and 6.7 seconds or something like that. Again, I can't read the bloody numbers on this tiny window that this bloody editing software gives me. My god. Now half this video is going to be ranting, half this video is going to be racing. But you can see my fastest lap at the moment it's still a 2 minutes and 1. Almost kind of go wrong there. I mean, if I wasn't careful, would have been straight off that, straight round, spinning around like a merry-go-round on the tarmac, and basically would have definitely lost about 2 or 3 positions. Yeah, but lucky enough, managed to keep control of the car enough so it didn't spin out. So unfortunately, yeah, there isn't anyone else too near me right now, but I am slowly catching up with Tupac in 6th. So that's a bonus from me. I've had no penalties. It's no bonus. I got Bad Joker or Bad. It's either Bad Joker or Bad Joke. I think it might be Bad Joker. A little bit behind me. You know, it's about 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind me, I believe, at this point. Go around the hairpin. Still nobody there. But I think that gap between me and 6th place is slowly coming down. I'm slowly reeling in 2-pack. And now I got 2 more laps to bring that gap down from what looks to me to be about 4.5 seconds. I might be wrong, but it looks like about 4.5 seconds from here. So I've got 2 laps to bring that down. So let's see what I can pull off. And then where to bring that gap down. So already it's down into the 3-second area. Yeah. So obviously he must have made a small mistake somewhere. He must have like ran wide a little bit somewhere. But I've still got Bad Joker not too far behind me. We can see 6th place now. So he's in reach. He is in reach. I just got to have a good lap 14 and I'm gonna make sure that I have a good lap 15 as well. So set in a blue sector, so obviously yeah, not fast set in the race, but a new faster sector for me. Lap 13 was a 1 minute 59.7, so definitely more closer to what my fastest practice lap was. Much closer, and I am slowly actually also being just a little bit faster this lap, and I think I've been a little bit faster about the whole entire lap on this one. Now that gap from 6th place is now down into the 2-second mark. Yellow flag, and I'm thinking, oh, he made a mistake, but unfortunately it wasn't him. It was, I think it was 18th last place. I think it was who went off there, I think. But I can see 6th and I can see 5th. So, you know, we're still a good shot. We actually are within a reasonable shot to get 5th here. New fastest lap of 1:59.744, so not much faster than lap 13, just a little bit faster. Alright, reeling in 2-pack, less than a second ahead now. And Bad Joker, well, I don't need to worry about Bad Joker anymore, he's too far back now. So, going a bit deep in there, a little bit wide, but managed to get back in. 2-pack goes a little bit off, loses momentum. I'm thinking, can I? And it's like, no, not really. He didn't really give me the room thing, but I do an undercut on the net and managed to overtake. So we are now in 6th place. So the question of, is 5th achievable? It could be. It's not. There's nothing to say that it can't be achievable right now. So let's see if we can get past this other French driver. I think his name's like Herco something. I think something like that. I'm gonna call him Herco because I think that's what his name is. So I'm just gonna call him Herco. Make it life easier for myself because I know who I'm talking about. A little bit rough there, so I do lose a bit of ground on him. So 1st place is finished. But lucky enough, I'm within reach to be able to get to the end before that timer runs out. Let's have a look. Definitely always have a faster section than Herco there. As to why 3rd pitted at that point, God only knows. He still got 3rd, but why he pitted, no idea. So let's have a look. Can we get past Herco? Now I could have went for the slipstream, but I don't know if that would have been enough. But someone had a penalty, so I managed to get a 5th anyway. So all in all, not a bad ending result. Starting from 12th, finishing 5th. Right. So after that 5th finish on that first race, starting from 12th, now we come to what was the manufacturers. I can't remember which round this was. This was the week when it was both races were at Brands Hatch. Because you had the Indy and you had the full Grand Prix. Now, unfortunately, my qualifying for this went completely tipped up. Completely tipped up on this one. And I'm actually starting from right stone dead last on this one. There I am. Also, for some reason in this replay, I don't know why, but for some reason people's livery designs didn't load in, so that's why all the cars looked like the stock cars. But a lot of these cars were designed. But I don't know why the replay didn't load them in for. I'm not 100% sure. But as you can see, still dead last. Oh, what a wonderful world! Different view. So yeah, we're doing this from the replay, but a slightly different view. And I thought, let's try it in cockpit view for a bit of fun. You know, just have a bit of, just for a little bit of laugh, and for something a little bit different, which I haven't really done before. Let's get the video captured in cockpit view. Though I am obviously getting this on replay because I can't race in a cockpit view at all. Climb up to 19th. Fortunately, one driver going a bit wide there. And who's that down in 16th? By means, it's Mr. Sponge. Mr. Sponge is back. Right. Oh, let's go past 18th. Don't worry about him. We're not worried about him. We're worried about Mr. Sponge right now. So, there he is. Mr. Sponge. The return of Mr. Sponge. So, this time we're going to see if we can get past him on Brands Hatch this time round. So, end of that one. Climb up 2 positions. So, all in all, so far, nice smooth start. So, let's see if we can get anything better. Bit of a bold overtake there from me, I would say. A bit of a, but also I would say probably a bit of a late decision from me as well. So obviously if something went wrong there, completely my bad. Lucky enough, I managed to pull it off. But it was a very bold, for me at least anyway, very bold overtake. Also probably quite a late decision to do the overtake there, I think, personally. But it worked. And I get past Mr. Sponge. A lot easier this time. A lot easier, I will have to say. So, end lap 2. Managed to climb at least one more position. So, now I've managed to climb at 13. 13? Oh, I bloody wish. No, we managed to climb at 3 positions. And we got a nice long train. Now, it was just sort of like, I was hoping to be able to avoid that, hitting him there. And I was thinking, at that point, I was thinking, my car's turning enough to be able to avoid hitting him. Turned out to not be the case. Obviously, I don't get a penalty for that or anything like that. It's just that I thought, it's a little misjudgment from me there. I was thinking that I should be able to get past him here without hitting him. Obviously, it didn't turn out to be the case, but not a lot I could do about it now. It was just a small little misjudgment from me there. But I managed to now climb up to 15th, so we're still climbing. Ever so slowly climbing, by just trying to race as smoothly as I can. I managed to get like back for half that train, but as you can see, there's another slightly long kind of train of cars in front of me. There's some incident up ahead going on there. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was 2 people squabbling or just a mistake by someone. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but obviously some kind of bit of a squabble. So I managed to come up to 13th. Some bloke went off there. I think it's a French driver, I think. But now climbed to 12th. So again, slowly climbing, bit by bit. But it's like, I ain't gonna argue. Only downside for me so far has been that small little tiny accident with the, I think it was a black BMW. Just from my little my misjudgment there kind of thing. It's like, oh well, not a lot I can do about it now. But all in all, but still, apart from that, all in all, been going pretty smoothly. Now I've managed to climb up into 11th. So I'm definitely not going to argue. Managed to climb up 9 places in 6 laps. No, I'm not really going to argue too much about that. Yeah, a bit of a rough corner there, some bit iffy. Is that what I say? So am I able to get past these 2 people in front of me before the end of lap 6? It's not going to be the case by the looks of it. But yeah, so by now, P11. So far, not so bad. Thought I was going to do an overtake. Thought I might try and overtake them because literally the NSX was going to start going a little bit wide-ish. But then the Porsche came and decided to suddenly cut across. Obviously not to block me off, but he just wanted to cut across and try and take the inside line. I thought, here, I'm not going to try and attempt an overtake there because it may cause something to go wrong. But I managed to come into 10th. But now is my time to pit. So I'm going to be pitting in. And let's have a look. So I've now actually skipped up quite a bit of this race. Because after that I was in P7. I pitted about 1 or 2 more times, I think, and my positions didn't change too much at that point. So I've decided to come back in on lap 22 at the end and on the exit of my last pit. And you can see I'm in P10. 2 people have left. But all in all, I'm still in P10, so I'm still, you know, considering I started technically in 20th, I'm halfway up the field. I'm not halfway up the field now because 2 people left, but I managed to climb effectively halfway up the field. Effectively. So we've got a yellow flag. I can't remember that was from here. That was. So, get up in the night. Going the Citroen there, I think he had a bit of a rough corner there, I believe. So, we're going to see if we can get 8th. That's the first job. Get past the Citroen. That's the first job. Let's see what we can do to get past this Citroen. And well, obviously don't get past him now, but we don't set any fast lap. Alright, so let's attempt again. So that was 18th. We don't worry about him too much. Unfortunately, he buggered up. But managed to close the gap in a little bit on the Citroen. So let's have a look. So we'll see if we can get past him in a second. And looks like it goes a bit wrong there. I'm like, alright, let's see if we can. And he's like, yeah, squeeze by just to get past him. I think he probably did back out a little bit there and slowed down a little bit. He's like, yeah, he's gonna pass me. I'll slow down a little bit just to allow him pass, so things don't go tits up. Alright, next job, get past P7. Or I think his name's Goatee something. It's like Goatee 2008 or something like that, I think. Or Goatee 2000. I'm just gonna call him Goat. So next job is to get past Goat. So can we get past Goat? And so we'll try here, see if we can get past him here. On the inside, not quite. And then we get to a point where it's like three abreast here. We're pretty close to that. I managed to I get past Goatee, but I got someone on my inside. So he goes back. He gives you a little bumpish. I'm like, oh, I'll undercut you. Go back past again. Obviously, I don't think he bumped me. Yeah, the little bump, not meant on purpose. Just basically a little bit of a racing rub. But you know, but he goes a bit wide there, so it's like, alright, I'm gonna undercut, so then I went wide and accelerate a little bit sooner as well to undercut him and get past him. So I managed to climb up to P7. So all in all, so far this race has actually gone quite well, considering my qualifying got completely ballsed up. I can't actually remember what happened in my qualifying. I don't know if it was... I know I had one qualifying where I set one qualifying lap and the lap time wasn't that great. And then I went to go do my next flying lap and some twonk basically ran me off the track. And that kind of basically buggered up that qualifying lap, and it was near the end of the qualifying, so there was no time for me to set in another qualifying lap. So I can't actually remember if it's this one or if it was the race in the Nations when you're at the Tokyo in the wet with the Fittipaldi, the Vision Gran Turismo Fittipaldi car. I think it was that one. I think this one it was disappointing. I just had a really bad qualifying. But I decided to come to this race and I was like, right, I'm just gonna pit every 7 laps. Bit of an incident ahead there. Again, not quite sure what gonna happen there. I can only guess that the car in front of me basically he just bumped the other guy, hence why he's got the penalty. Again, whether it was an accidental bump, I'm not 100% sure, or if it was basically because he's getting frustrated or something, I don't know, because we are on the final lap as well, so maybe it's desperation, but it cost him. So I end up coming in 5th, so I started 20th, qualifying 20th, and then in 5th, so all in all, not bad. And then we come to the final race of this video. Now, this last race, I don't know for the video. There was a few different races I could choose from, but I thought I would go with a race that was very early on in the season. I started 12th because how this race was set up. To do a qualifying lap was extremely bloody difficult. Because obviously because of how the tyres were set up, you'll do a lap and then by the time you get near the end of that lap your tyres would be a bit air, but your fuel would have been almost empty, so or you wouldn't have enough fuel left to do another lap. The only way to do it would be the fuel save, and so it was like so anyone who was ahead of me managed to actually be able to do this fuel saving, which fuel saving is something I can't really do. I'm not very good at doing the whole let's save fuel. It doesn't help by the fact that I drive automatic, but fuel saving is something I don't personally I don't really bother doing, to be honest. I'm not great at it anyway, but also at the same time I just don't bother doing it. I can't be arsed with it. But you see, this was the manufacturers. So I am in the Mercedes AMG Group 3. Little squiffy for there. Some squiffiness going on. But we're in 10th, so all in all, and we're in 9th. I haven't had any major incidents yet, so I'm not going to argue. Now, it is unfortunate that this was not a nations race, because otherwise, this race would have gone pretty well for the UK, or from where I'm from the UK, because at the moment it's a UK 1-2-3. So slight odd dodginess going on there, I think, but the guy in the Lancer, he was a very dodgy driver to me. He was a very dodgy guy. Let's see what we can do and get past this dodgy lancer. I think his name's it's something sushi or something like that. I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Dodgy for now, because he was a bit dodgy. So it's something like Shosha. Oh, I don't bloody know. Mr. Dodgy. There you go. He's called Mr. Dodgy. So I don't know. I'm in P9, so I managed to come up 3 positions. But yeah, I had 2 other races that I could have put in this video. Now, and it was a bit of a debate. There was the Nations race at Dragon's Tail Seaside in the Group 1, or there was the Manufacturers race at Interlagos. And I wasn't entirely sure which one to put in, but I decided to put this one in just mainly because of the memorable. It's the finish is what I thought. You know what? I remember that race because of how it finished. You can see now I have. Okay, I ain't even gonna bother attempting to pronounce that name. Well, he's got 666 at the end of him, so I'm just gonna call him Satan. So you can see Satan managed to get past. Managed to do an overtake. Yep, we got a yellow flag. That guy's name, what was it? It's something like Vulture or something. It's something like that. Like Vulture or something. What? It kind of shows me here because I think he qualified quite high. I think he did. I think he qualified in like 4th or something. I think he qualified in. And now obviously now he's down in 10th. Yeah. He's unfortunately having a bit of a rough one there. But I've still got Satan in front of me. But obviously due to Volt, I'm just going to call him Volt, DJ. But due to Volt having a spin out there, managed to get past, and we managed to get into 8th place now. So, ooh. There's a couple of penalties ahead by the looks of it as well. Fortunately, there's no penalties for the debt or Mr. Satan. But hey, I could just always try and overtaking normally, I suppose. We'll just do it the normal, boring way of just normal overtaking. But no, but yeah, in the end, I chose this one because one, it's the finish is something that's a bit more memorable to me in the way of the race, and also 2, it's also because it's the Nordschleifer and it's probably my favorite track in the game as well. So, and okay, yeah, racing on the Nordschleifer can sometimes be a bit dodgy. You know, it depends. I suppose it does depend on who you're racing with. But it is always a track that I always do enjoy racing on, and it is a track that I do like to race on. Even though it can be a bit funky sometimes in the ways of when you got tyre wear and fuel consumption on, but it's always one that regardless of the situation, I always do enjoy racing on it. So I suppose you can also say I'm being a bit biased by the fact that I'm including this one because the Nordschleifer, it is one of my favourite tracks in the game. I go first carousel, almost lose it there. I lose it a little bit, obviously. Unfortunately, I do lose some ground on Mr. Satan. But it could have been a lot worse, and I could have completely and utterly spun out there, which would have probably been a bit of a disaster. But okay, no spin out. Just lost a bit of ground to the devil. But I'm still not going to argue 8th place. So you know, effectively, I've climbed up 4 positions. So you know, I'm not going to argue with that. Now, unfortunately, went a bit dodgy on the brakes there. Bit of a braking error on me there. Unfortunately, go off a little bit. Not duh. But not a lot I can do. And it shouldn't be too hard for me to make up that ground again anyway. So nothing too major to worry about. I'm still very early in the race, so it's a mistake that I can afford to make right now. Excuse me, my throat is drying up like a motherfucker. Alright, let's try and get some ground back onto Mr. Satan, because unfortunately there's a bit of gap. Now unfortunately my car kind of launches a little bit off the ground there and lands, kind of kicks out the back a little bit. Go off again, another mistake, fortunately by me. I'm a terrible driver, I shouldn't be allowed to drive. And unfortunately, but I don't lose too much ground on Satan at this point. You know, he's still, yeah, he's ahead. He's got, you know, it's a little bit of a gap, but it's nothing like that can't be made up. You know, it's nothing that can't be caught up on. So it's not the end of the world. Well, there's Mr. Dodgy being passed by Mr. Satan. I had to go up into 7th. Now we've got a teammate in front of me. And I was like, nah, sorry teammate, I'm going past you. Don't get past me teammate. But I can't see his name from here. Well, that cut out at the wrong time, didn't it? I'm trying to read his name. Let me read his name. It's the impossible name. I didn't read it then, I couldn't see it. Screw it, I'm calling him Mr. Impossible, but because I can't see his bloody name. But I come out from the pits, I come out 9th, so yeah, I dropped down a couple of positions. But Mr. Impossible has probably maybe a little bit worse, eh? Actually no. He's also dropped down 2 positions I think as well actually. Alright, but yeah, here there's some kind of incident going on with Mr. Dodgy. Or is it this lap? Yeah, I believe it was this lap. There was some kind of incident with Mr. Dodgy and another driver. And I don't know, they just went tits up basically. So it's like, oh well, that's fine, I'll take 2 positions from you lot and get myself up into 7th. I ain't gonna argue about that. So as at the moment, it is no longer a 1-2-3 UK finish. But don't worry, that'll change. At this point, we'll go a little bit wide there, almost. We've got Alberto the Legend. Now unfortunately, Satan bumped into me a little bit there. I think he just wasn't aware of space anywhere. But unfortunately, he hits Alberto the Legend. He goes off. He's gone. Now I went back for this replay, and that corner coming onto the actual North Cypher itself from the GP circuit, Alberto the Legend got whacked off there as well. So at that point, he was just having a horrible time. Poor Mr. Alberto the Legend, he's having a horrible day. Right then. But I can't feel sorry for Mr. Alberto the Legend right now. I've got my own race to worry about. But I'm still in 7th, so. And 6th is a little bit farish ahead. So. But could possibly make up that ground. There's always that good opportunity to do so. And got a nice long straight bit. Whee. So yeah, with this race you've got the whole race because biased. So I haven't really been able to make any ground on 6th. But unfortunately I got 8th now. Or I think his name's Gorky. I believe it's Gorky. I got Gorky breathing down my neck. So just trying to be a bit defensive. I'm not trying to be overly too defensive here. So I don't want to spend too much time fighting. So I do want to try and catch up with 6, but you know, I'm going to be a little bit defensive. Just to try and keep 7th. But now I got Satan and Gorky chasing down my ass at the moment. Push it a little bit hard there, a little bit fast in that corner. Somehow managed to keep it on. How I done that, don't know. So I know I definitely went into that corner a lot faster than you should do. So how I managed to keep it on, I guess I got lucky. Almost as I could cut the corner too much there. But again, I got lucky, no penalty. So there. But I've still got Gorky and Satan. Now, I don't know if there was contact there between Gorky and Satan. There, I don't know. Or if this Gorky was just pushing too hard there. Now, at first when I had that part, I thought I may have accidentally pushed 7th to get past and to get into 6th. But looking from there, it doesn't look like there's any contact. To me, it doesn't look like there's contact. But I might be wrong. So, let me know in the comments below what you think. Was there contact there, or was there no contact there? Should I have not done an overtake there, or should I have overtaken there? You know, let me know what you think in the comments below. What I should have done there. Because to me, it doesn't look like there's contact, but he does go a bit wide. And I thought I may have accidentally bumped him a little bit, but it didn't look like I do. You know, it's kind of a... And my SR, I don't think my SR at that point also went down either. So I'm not so sure if there was contact there or not. But to me, it doesn't look like that there is. To me. But that's my opinion, that's what I think. But I may be completely wrong. Alright, going up to the carousel. Yellow flag, but that's got nothing really going to have much to do for me. It's going to be pretty useless to me. And this time, I have a much better exit on the carousel. Much smoother, no jittering in my ass left to right this time. So I'm trying to catch up with 5th right now. His name is like Luca Bari, I think, so I'm just going to call him Luca. So I'm trying to catch up with Luca. And now this is the point where it's how much fuel has Luca used and how much fuel have I used. Because Luca does pit in. He does pit in at the same time as I do, because I do pit in at the end of this lap, and so does Luca. We both pit in. So then at that point, it's a question of who used the more fuel. So therefore, then we'll be in the pits just a little bit longer. So at this point, I think a Dutch driver, I think from the Netherlands, he's obviously gone completely tits up somewhere, because he was 4th and now he's no longer on the grid. He's gone. So obviously he went complete tits up there. So managed to climb up into 5th. So all in all, not bad. Managed to climb up 7 positions so far in this race. And I'm still trying to catch up with Luca. He's just uncatchable at the moment. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, let's see if we can catch up with him on the straight bit. See if I can use the slipstream to catch up with him here. He looks like he may be a little bit too far ahead of the slipstream. See what we can do, and as you can see, as I hinted to earlier, it is now once again a 1, 2, 3 UK podium so far at the moment. So I haven't really been able to catch up with Luca at the moment. Wow, Luca Vari, again, Luca. But I haven't been able to catch up with him, but it depends on who's used more fuel. And this indication, Luca did end up using a little bit more fuel than I did. So I do manage to come out ahead of him from the pits and be in 4th place. So far it is a UK 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence why this race is a bit more memorable to me, because it was at one point it was a UK 1, 2, 3, 4. And boy, it's a shame that this wasn't a nations race rather than a manufacturers. So all now gotta do now is just stay ahead of Luca. That's all I gotta do. Because at this point, first, second and third, but they are just gone. they are gone, and it's gonna be impossible for me to catch up with them. So Luca trying to go for a pass on the outside there. Obviously doesn't pay off for him. So since it's first, second and first place, they're gone. It's now a race between me and Luca, because there's no point in me saying like, oh, maybe I might catch up with her, because I bloody don't. They're gone. Luca obviously has a little bit. I think I had a bit of a rough corner there as well. I think a bit of a rough entry onto the North Schleifer, and the same with Luca. And we've got Satan. My God, is it late? But no, also got Mr. Satan not too far behind me either. You know, he's still a potential threat at the moment. No, I have managed to, but I've got a bit of a gap between me and Luca and Mr. Satan. Yeah. You know, at the moment, it's a comfortable gap. But obviously, still can't take too many risks. I'll still manage to keep that gap. Mr. Satan gone. Unfortunately, Mr. Satan there clips the grass and tries to go into the corner, and just unfortunately just loses it and goes off. So now it's down to me and Luca again. So now I think at this point Luca was closing down the gap a little bit. Not a great deal though, but he was closing it a little bit. You know, he was chipping off little bits of time here and there, just little bits of time. But I'm still pushing to at least pushing hard enough to stay ahead of Luca. That was my aim, was just to push hard enough to stay ahead of Luca, and that was it. So no disasters there. Good. We like a disaster-free race, preferably. And looks like now I've opened up the gap a little bit again between me and Luca. Now it's at this point Luca goes wrong, I think he just pushed a little bit too hard to try and catch up. I think there, and you can see he's nowhere to be seen. But if you saw in the background, if you saw a little bit in the background, you might have just saw him just like going off. And again, I don't know if if it was just because he just broke a little bit too late, or if it was just because he was pushing too hard to try and catch up with me at that point. But it's obviously at this point I'm thinking, alright, I think at this point the gap between me and Luca was something like 7 seconds or something like that. The gap grew to quite a comfortable gap where I could be like, right, since I got no chance of catching up with third, and I got a nice gap over ahead of fifth, it's still trying to get around. Obviously, be fast around the track, but I don't need to push extremely hard at the moment. So, but you know, it's like, but still trying to get around the track fast. You know, just so I can then at least get the race finished as well. You know. But yeah. So this basically we're coming near the end. We're not too far off now. We've got a few corners to go. But out of this in this video, which race was was your favourite one to watch? You know, which one do you think? Which one was your favourite? Was it the Nordschleife? Was it the Brands Hatch race? Was it the one at the Kyoto? And if you took part in the FIA series, whether it was just the nations or just the manufacturers, or if you did both, what was your favourite race? You know, let me know in the comments below. What was your favourite race in the FIA series for the exhibition season 1? Yeah. Because my favourite, I will say, my favourite really actually I reckon it was either this one, the Nordschleife race, or actually the first race in this video, the one at Kyoto with the Group 1s. But which one is my favourite? I don't know. I don't think any of them are a particular favourite, because there's aspects I like about both of them, and you know they were just both races that I enjoyed doing. So I don't have a particular favourite, but if I had to pick a favourite, I would go for Nordschleife, but once again, because of bias. But I enjoyed the Tokyo race just as much as I did with this one. But at this point, Luca is just too far behind. He ain't gonna catch up. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for the UK. So that's the only reason why it's a shame that this was a manufacturers and not a nations race, unfortunately. But we are coming up to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. So please remember to like and subscribe, and just share this video with some of your friends. And also check out the rest of my Gran Turismo videos, and the playlist will be at the end. But so, until next time, I will see you all at the finishing line.
I can't explain